What's up? Welcome back to Nowstalgia. Dave here with a review of Ted Lasso Season 3, the return of Ted Lasso for seemingly its final season, according to Jason Sudeikis. Ted Lasso is almost certainly not gone for good after this season, but it seems like, from what everyone's telling us, the core Lasso story and narrative surrounding Ted specifically as a character is seemingly wrapping up. And that was just how this was kind of envisioned by the creative team that Sudeikis is a part of. And honestly, I welcome it. I'm happy that Lasso's ending the way it is. If you check our review on Ted Lasso season 2, you might remember that I'm not the biggest Ted Lasso guy, although I thought season 2 was better than season 1. I think it's a very interesting show in terms of why it's popular and what it does well and doesn't do well. And it's just kind of funny to me how that's all shaken out and where we're leading with this season 3. I thought the season 3 premiere was kind of more of the same, continuing where we left off with season 2. And I'll just be curious how the dramatic stakes kind of land when we get to the end of the season, in a few months. Um, just plainly, like, the dramatic, like, tension was clearly elevated as what this show was really concerned about with season 2, and I really appreciated that. Ted going through his struggles, mentally, in terms of finding his purpose and what really matters to him. Keely and Roy separating and figuring out where they need to go in their lives. Of course, Nate having his overwhelming insecurity kind of push him into full heel and join West Ham and become a rival of AFC Richmond. I was really happy about that because season 1 to me just fell really flat because it's a really wholesome show. Ted Lasso telling his dad jokes, really earnest. That's nice, right? It's a nice show. And yeah, that's all fine and good, but it's not a funny show. That's my issue with it. It's a comedy that doesn't make you laugh. Like, this pales in comparison to like a good HBO comedy, pales in comparison to something like What We Do in the Shadows. It's just not that funny. So at least leading into the dramatic stuff, like they did in the back half of season 2, I at least can get behind because I find it's at least a bit more interesting than the kind of like lackluster joke telling that is the rest of the series. My big issue with like the show in general is that it is so allergic to tension and making anyone in conflict with the core characters. Jamie Tarr gets pulled back and becomes a good guy. Of course, Rebecca, the antagonist of season 1, is now full on good guy, you know? And they're already setting the stage in one episode with season 3 about Nate's redemption because he's really just really insecure and that's why he's a huge dick and that's why he went to West Ham. And it's like, they can't let anything sit, can they? And that's okay. A lot of people love the show. That's not why that doesn't do it for me, but it does it for a lot of people. Whatever. So I'm just hoping that they really lean into Nate being the heel and they don't immediately start pulling him back in season 3. Hopefully they give it enough time because they will pull him back. We know that. But like, I just hope they at least let the tension and conflict simmer for at least a little bit. We'll see. I think some people, they're just happy to be in the world, quote unquote, be with Ted. But then again, being with Ted isn't as fun as it used to be because Ted's got a lot of shit going on. I'd rather be with that than watch him tell the dumb dad jokes again because we've heard all those dumb dad jokes. They don't feel like they don't hit the same anymore. The whole like rousing people up in the sewer like they do in season 3 to motivate his team. I don't know how many times we need to see scenes like that on this show before they start to get stale. Then again, it is the final season, so hopefully it's not going to wear out its welcome. But I'm not as high on Ted Lasso as other people are. But let me know, how did you feel about the season 3 premiere? Are you more optimistic than me? Are you looking forward to a spin-off with Keeley or someone else? Because we know Ted Lasso will return as a world soon enough. And for more TV reviews, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.